Yo, this mirror stuff is really jacking me up. I'm like trying to fix my hat, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm fixing it. There you go. Yo, 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 peace and love, peace and love. What's going on? Welcome to day 11. Day 11, day 11, day 11. We are still here. We are still strong. 11 days of discipline. 11 to 50. 11 days, man, of 50 days. We are more than one fifth of the way. All right, we are getting closer and closer, man. In a few days, about another 9 days, we're gonna be 30 days away, 20 or 50. This is a long freaking time, man. Shit. 40 days was long, but I did that shit, right? Yeah, I'm actually gonna take my give me a second, take my jacket off, take the sweater off, a little warm in here, right? Get a little more comfortable as we get into this discussion. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday to the people out there in YouTube world, YouTube verse. All right, happy Tuesday, man. Thanks for being here. Giving me some of your time tonight. Right, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your presence. All right, we are live, man. We are live. 50 Days of Divine Discipline. Tonight we are talking about habits and identity. Right. Last night we talked about environment. We spoke about how your environment shapes your identity, how your environment trains you to become who you are. Right. Sometimes because of your environment, you become a person that you never thought you would become. Right. You end up picking up habits, right, because of the environment that you like, yo, this is so far removed from who I saw myself be, who I saw myself being, or who I would like to become, right? Picking up habits, picking up lifestyles, making decisions and choices. And it's all rooted from your identity, right? So we're gonna get into it, man. But just want to recap today, day 11, man, feeling a little clear. Right, actually feeling really clear. I was in the train station today. I had to go out to Manhattan, shot a little short video, right? Just talking to the camera about the campaign, kind of explaining it a little more in depth of what we're building, why we're building it, right? And what it's about. But when I was on the train, um, in the train station, I just was like, it's a lot of things at the same time, right? So it's heavy emotion still. But I was like, I feel clear. I feel clear in my body, right? Water, coconut water, cleansing me out. All right. So feeling clear in that way. Not 100% clear emotionally or mentally, rather. Still some thoughts, still some stuff, right? Some stuff, but physically feeling clear, feeling strong, feeling grounded, right? Feeling like I'm on purpose, feeling like I'm on time, right? Was talking to my man today, right? My man Jeremy today. Something that I was talking to Kimona about a couple days ago, right? And I might have been talking about it on the show yesterday or on another show, but just how there are so many apps coming out, all right? There's so many apps coming out that are similar to what we're building with Continuum, that are about designing your perfect life, designing your ideal life, right? Creating a day in a life. And it just makes me feel good, right? I think I was talking about it on the show this morning. Like I'm early, right? Like I know I'm early. I like to consider myself a futurist. I can kind of see what's coming. I can kind of see where certain things are going, right? And I knew 5 years ago, right? Maybe if I would have started 5 years ago, we'd be in a different position now. But clearly, it wasn't time then, right? But we're here now. But 5 years ago, when I first had the idea, I was like, "Yo, we could use VR for personal development. We could use VR specifically to help people incarcerated or people who are recently released from incarceration, right? Chart a path forward for themselves." Um, and that was 5 years ago, right? 4, 5, maybe 6 years ago, about 5 years. That was in 2021, right? Coming out of my barber's building, right? You get a barbershop in an apartment in Queensbridge, right? I love the fact that the brother turned his crib into a barbershop. All right, but I was early, and so I didn't act on it then, right? And since then, there have been so many. Like they got the virtual meditation labs now, right? And so like people are picking up, and it makes me feel good that I'm early, but now it makes me feel a sense of urgency because something I read in the book today, it was like the reason a lot of inventions fail is not because they're not good enough. It's because of timing. Either you're too early and the market, the people don't understand, or you're too late. All right, and the market is already oversaturated. One thing I understand though is that there's not good. Hope you think you're good. So y'all just it ain't, we can eat. I mean, I'm not eating, but I'm saying if I was eating, you could eat. You can make noise. You know what I mean, you gotta be silent, right? She's over there trying to silently eat her popcorn. She can eat. But yeah, most inventions either too early or too late, and that's why they fail. That's why they fail. One thing I learned though is that if it's like with something like this, with what we're building specifically with Continuum, right? And as that plugs into the whole ecosystem, there's no such thing as being too late, right? Because nobody's really pulling these things together. A lot of people are doing this stuff. Some are building these apps, are building these technologies, yes, for the benefit of humanity. But most, I would say, and it could be an assumption because I don't know the people, but are doing it mainly for profit, right? But what we're talking about and what I explained a little more clearer in the video that I shot today, that I hope to get today or tomorrow, right? Next, by the end of the week at least, is the cohesion of what we're building, right? How everything works together, because we're literally like so many other systems and technologies and things are fragmented. They work on this, but they leave out this. They work on this, but they forget about that. They work on this, but they ignore that. We are working on literally the whole of humanity down to the whole individual, and how individuals are able to connect with themselves, connect deeper with self, mind, body, spirit, heart, right? And not just their present, but their future in the community around them, their family, their neighborhood, right? Like that's what we're doing. That's what we're building. Something that helps humans connect deeper with themselves and deeper with the people around them, deeper with their community. And that's something that I don't think will ever be too late. All right. However, there is always a sense of urgency, right? Because the longer you wait for something, the tougher it gets, right? Especially something like this. And so, like I said, I got to figure it out, man. I got to figure out how to do something I've never done, how to raise some capital I've never raised, right? And all I know is that talk to more people. I didn't send the text messages out today. That is something. I got a long train ride tomorrow. I got to go to Brooklyn, deep in Brooklyn, like 3 train, 4 train to the 3 train, deep in East New York, right? To do lead facilitation to facilitate a healing circle with some folks, right? One Brooklyn Health hospital, right? So yeah, I'm gonna be on the train and I'm gonna be sending text messages out. That's in the morning, and then after that, I'll be home. I got nothing to do. I should be home by 6:30. About 6:30 to 9, right? Till we stream again. Streaming every night. This is also something different, man. Like morning streaming is one thing. Wake up, get to it, but to pretty much have to stop what's going on or move things around to stream at night, it's tough. But this is something I committed to. It's something that I'm actually enjoying, right? Because again, it's stretching me. It's stretching me. It's making me more disciplined. It's making me more focused. It's making me more consistent, right? And which is what I want to do, right? I want to be more consistent. I want to be more disciplined. And so, yeah, this is working, man. In terms of the fast in general, I'm down another few pounds. I'm 201, I believe, today. 201. So that's 24 pounds in about 10 days, right? From 225 to 201 in 10 days. The first 5 days was like 18 pounds, right? I went from 225 to 207 from Saturday to Wednesday, right? But from last Wednesday to today, Tuesday, is down 6 pounds, right? Which is good. 6 days, 6 pounds, about a pound a day. I'm drinking a lot of water, regular spring water, coconut water. So I feel good. I feel good with this weight loss. This is different than, I guess it's about the same, right? When I did the 40 days and the 30 days, with the 40 days, I think I lost 50 something pounds. With the 30 days, I lost 40 something pounds. So it's about the same. But obviously I've done it before. And as most people who fast know, every fast is different. All right. This fast is tougher, man. It's tougher because there's different things happening in my life than were happening, 2 years ago when I did my last long fast, right? 40 days, that was 2024. There were different things happening, different circumstances, right? Different I'm in the middle of having to pack up my crib. It's different, right? And I'm older, right? I'm freaking a year and a half. That was 2024, April, May, right? So yeah, I'm about 2 years, damn near older than I was then. But what's crazy is that I feel younger. Right, it's a beautiful thing, right? It's not something crazy. I feel younger. I'm definitely more vibrant than I was then. I'm stronger than I was then. I'm more alert than I was then. I'm more aware than I was then. Right, and I think that's how we should age. We should get better with age, in all of the ways, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, financially. But yeah, so confidence, definitely still feeling emotional. All right. Yesterday was really emotional. Last night specifically was really emotional. So today, this morning particularly, I did a lot of resting. Like I rested, I really rested my body until I had to go out. I left out about 2:30, a little later than I wanted to, but right on time with enough time to get done what I needed to get done and to contribute to the space that I was in. But yeah, definitely heavy emotions. I attribute a good part of it to the massage I got Saturday, right? Like my legs, my back, men hold stuff there, right? Hold emotions there. And so, yeah, she opened up some stuff. And I've been really emotional ever since, all right? Like even just now, I laid down. I had a Zoom with my children, laid down after the Zoom, 8:30. Got up a little bit later than I should have gotten up to jump on here. That's why I was a minute behind, all right? But yeah, I, I've lived long enough and I've experienced enough life, learned enough to know that the emotions are okay. The heavy emotions are okay. They don't symbolize weakness or a bad day. It's just things are heavy, especially when there's a lot of things happening at once. And something I've also learned is that when things seem to be more challenging, when things seem to be more difficult to figure out or to push through, that means you're also that much closer. All right, so I know I'm close. I know I'm close. I know that this ask is astronomical ask, $50 million. Most people cannot even wrap their mind around that. All right, I can't go back because I'm like, part of the thought was like, damn, maybe I should have just focused on the $5 million. Right, let's raise $5 million. Been a lot easier, right? And clearly it would have been easier, but my whole life I've don't choose the easy thing. And it's not something that I chose. I was telling my boy today, like, it's not like I was sitting down thinking about, what can I do? What's something extreme that I could do? What's something I could do? Shit came to me as a fucking download, literally, like a couple of weeks back, right? The 50-day thing, I said it as a joke a couple years ago, to my old manager, I'll do a 50-day fast for $50 million. Literally in my mind, it was like, get big enough. It was like years later. I'm thinking about years later, not just 2 years later, but years later, when the name is big and there's a network that's, I'm doing regular 3-day, 7-day fast, and the network comes with document your fast. And I proposed to listen, we could do the 7-day thing. That's cool. I'll take a check for that, right? Like we can take a check. We can make this a reality show. But then again, this is in my vision. Then it was like, I'll tell the network, listen, let's document 50 days. I've done 40 days before. Let's go longer than I've ever gone. Let's do 50 days, make it a reality show, document the shit, film the shit, and put it out there, right? And then I kind of put it on my mind. And I wasn't thinking about fasting for a long time, right? Like that long, for a while. And then it just came to me. It was like, do this shit, right? As I dealt with my discipline issues, right? Discipline challenges around eating, portion size, as well as late night, right? I was like, all right, it's time to make a change. It's time to make a change. And the spirit was like, this is the change. Fast now. Do 50-day fast and tie it to a fundraiser. I was like, all right. And then the spirit was like, no, tie it to the big fundraiser. Big fundraiser is literally like $50 million. I was like, shit. But here we are. We ended day 11. Moving right along, feeling strong, feeling grateful, feeling excited for the challenges ahead. And today is day 11. We're going to talk about habits and identity. Excuse me. We spoke about discipline before. We spoke about a bunch of things, right? Neural soul and community and nutrition. And yesterday specifically, right? The day before yesterday, we spoke about trauma in the brain, and then yesterday was the power of environment. If you can see where all this is going, right now, is habits and identity, because your environment shapes your identity. right? Where you live, how you live, what you listen to, who you engage with, all of it shapes your identity. And then we're gonna pull up some notes and we're gonna jump into it. We got good talk today, right? Some pretty cool stuff to chat about, some stuff that maybe you guys know about and have heard before, maybe some stuff that you guys don't know and haven't heard before. But I'm excited to share it with you all and get into the discussion. So the theme is habits, identity, and how you become a different person. Because that's what it's all about, right? This whole thing is about becoming. Everything that we are building is about becoming, is about helping people become helping individuals become the person that they really desire to become, right? The person of their dreams, right? How do you become the person of your dreams? How do you become the best version of yourself? That's what it's about. And again, so many of us, as a happenstance, become sick, overweight, unhealthy. We become mean, we become violent, we become poor, right? We become bitter, we become miserable. And we look back like, how did I get that way? Like, how did I become that person? How did I become this person? And then we start making changes. A lot of times, I mean, clearly, if you're alive, it's never really too late. But a lot of times we don't wake up until something tragic happens, until we develop a life-altering illness, until we get a freaking life-altering injury, until we have, so many situations in life, right? We go bankrupt, we lose our home, we lose our family, right? We get in crazy debt, gambling debt, we get threatened, whatever the case may be. Then we start to like, yo, damn, how did I get in this situation? You got in a situation by your daily habits, things that you were doing, right? Which is tied to your identity, who you told yourself you were, right? And most people don't even think about that. Who am I? Who am I right now? And who do I want to become? So that's what we're talking about tonight. Right now, I want to go on a limb and say, I'm sure many of us, many of you, most of us have tried to change our habits, but it didn't last, right? We see it all the time, New Year's resolutions, where people say they're going to start eating healthier, they're going to stop drinking, they're going to stop smoking, they're going to go to the gym, they're going to stop doing this, they're going to start doing that, yada, 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 yada. And they start strong. They start strong. First few days, I've never like been a New Year's resolution person where like with the workout I'm in the gym. But from what I've heard and what I've seen, right? What I've seen, the people I know that have started, they start strong. And then slowly and slowly and slowly, they go back to who they were. Not because they are weak, not because they're not strong, right? Because they're trying to change habits without changing their identity. Your habits are a result of who you are, not the other way around. Now, we can say it goes both ways. Your habits shape your identity, but your habits are rooted in your identity. So if you say, like, for example, I don't eat meat, I'm quote unquote vegan, I'm striving to be the healthiest person on earth. So like certain things I don't eat no more just because like that's who I am. So the habits are different. Healthy person, I'm striving to be the healthiest person on earth. So like my habits change. I don't drink no more, right? Like I didn't smoke for 6 months. I smoked for a couple of days and I'm not smoking now. When I smoke again, I don't know. But whenever I do, I'll be so much more disciplined. So much more disciplined, right? Because that's my identity. I'm a disciplined person. So that's what we're getting into tonight, how habits really work and how you actually become a different person, how you can shift your identity, adjust your habits, change your habits, right? And become the person that you ultimately want to be, not a slave to your circumstances, not a slave to your environment, and not who you've always been. You don't have to be who you've always been. Just because you've been a certain way for a long time or you've done certain things for a long time doesn't mean you have to remain that person and keep doing those same things. So what are habits really? Habits are not random. They are patterns of behavior that your brain has automated, right? They are patterns of behavior that your brain has automated based on what? Identity, who you said you are. So there are things that we do without thinking. There are things that we do without deciding, right? There are things that we do without effort. A habit, putting your shoes on. You put your shoe on, you tie your shoe. You don't have to think about how to tie your shoe. You're not deciding what shoe to put on first. You're just putting on the shoe. Me, I noticed that most times I put on my right shoe first. So sometimes I'll be a little more conscious and put my left shoe on first, right? Like just different things. But these are habits, right? Without thinking, without deciding, without effort. And most of our life is run by habits. Autopilot, default mode network, right? In brain science, there's two networks. There's the things we do auto, the things we do that takes a little more effort, and the things we do that we're not even thinking about that we're doing, right? So understand that This is key right here. We don't generally rise to our goals, right? Like some of us like to think that, but what happens? We fall in line with our habits, right? And this is, again, we go back to discipline. I'm gonna tie it in more later, but you see how it's all connected, right? We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the standards, right? Or to the measures of our habits. What are our habits? What are we doing daily? What are we doing day in and day out, right? So now it's a fucking loop, right? It's a habit loop, when we're gonna call it, right? Every habit follows a loop. We said it, I think, yesterday. Cue, action, and reward. The cue is your stress, right? What's stressing you? What's causing you to the action, right? Scroll your phone, right? Stress, scroll your phone. I know it all the time, right? I'm stressed, or for me, it was eating, right? That was my biggest thing. I mean, I guess scroll my phone, not even really scrolling, playing my word game. That's what it has been for the last few years. I'm stressed, play my word game, right? I really don't like to scroll because it's mad content I don't want to see. I want to see what I'm interested in. A lot of stuff I'm not interested in. I don't even care to see, right? But the cue, I'm stressed, action, scroll your phone, reward, distraction. You're distracted from the thing that causes you stress, right? You see, like cue, action, reward, the thing that causes you stress that you may need to actually address, you are now distracted from, that's your reward. So now your brain learns this loop, and repeats it. Now, we spoke on another show on my SR Daily, I think yesterday, day before yesterday, about the negative side of neuroplasticity. Your brain formulates around what you repeat, right? It adapts to what you repeat. So the positive, you repeat positive affirmations, you repeat daily exercise, you repeat positive reward. Cool. But the other side is also true. When you do that consistently, your brain learns this loop and it repeats it. And it becomes, the longer you do it, so hard to break. Like, I'm so glad, like, just the last few days, I haven't opened my word game. First day I didn't. Second 2 days I did. Right? The last few days I did. I said, I'm not going to play my word game no more. Right? I didn't play my word game no more. Right? But what I have been doing is, when I'm running, doing chess more. Right? Which is still a game. Right? And so I gotta still find another reward, right? But yeah, it's crazy. Dopamine, right? We're talking about dopamine. This is where the science comes in. Dopamine reinforces habits by rewarding repeated behavior. You feel good. It's pleasure, right? It feels good. All right. And then you go back, and then what? Goes back to what you know. Right? Go back to what you know, repetition. Your brain learns it. So the moment something is uncomfortable, the moment there's some stress, there's some discomfort, all right, I'm gonna go back to what I know. I'm gonna scroll my phone. I'm gonna eat this food. I'm gonna do this thing, whatever it is. The brain prefers efficiency over automation. Proficiency over automation. This not proficiency, efficiency, right? And your brain is always asking, what can I repeat that feels familiar and rewarding? Which is why, going back to before, certain people could want to change, right? Using my friends as an example. You ask them, they don't want to go back to prison, but they experience some trauma in trying to change, some discomfort in trying to change. Their brain was conditioned for so long, right? They didn't do the brain rewiring, right? They just tried to change certain habits without actually changing identity and restructuring how they look at things, how they perceive things, reframing and adjusting their limiting beliefs. And so now they go back to what's rewarding and familiar. And what's rewarding? Getting money all day. Dopamine, right? It's familiar, on the block. I know these people. I know the place. I know what can happen, right? It's different trying to put a tie on and go get a job, or trying to build a business. Shit is different, and it's fucking difficult, and it's unfamiliar, right? So like, your brain is always going to go back to what you know. So why people struggle to change is because they try to change the action. Keep the same. This is who I am. So I've always been. But I'm going to change this. Oh, it's too hard. It's hard because you identifying with who you've always been. I listened to one of the talks yesterday. The dude said, as long as he was, I don't remember the town. He was like, as long as you say you're a skinny, uneducated, stupid kid from Iowa, you'll always be a stupid, uneducated, skinny kid from Iowa. So people say, I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying. Right now, mind you, like, I'm not the person to say, oh, to try is to fail. I understand it, right? I understand it. But babies try to walk until they fucking walk. but they're committed to walking. And so it's like, this is where like semantics, right? You get into semantics, and I'm trying to do this. I'm doing this. And if I fail, I fail, but I'm going to keep trying to do it, right? Like, it's a crazy thing, right? But underneath the try, they still see themselves the same exact way. I'm trying to change, but this is who I am. I'm trying to eat better, but I'm just this person. It's like, shift your identity. Claim to be who you want to be, and this is where continuum comes into play. This is where the visualization, being able to see yourself, being able to immerse yourself as your future self, is going to help tremendously with this part right here, right? Because as long as your identity stays the same, your habits will return to match it. As long as your identity, as long as you continue to be who you've always been, no matter how much you try to do something different, you're going to return back to the same habits. Now, clearly, that's relative, right? Subjective, right? Because there are some people who change because of fear, right? My mother, pretty much the same person, stopped smoking cigarettes. Why? Because she almost died, right? She was almost died. I was in the hospital for freaking almost 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks, a couple years back. Scared the fuck out of her. So she stopped smoking cigarettes, right? So it's, right, everything is no, it's not all black and white. There is some gray area to a lot of this stuff. But change is rooted in identity, right? Identity-based change. And so instead of going from, and I told my boy this a few months ago, right? Instead of going from I'm trying to, well, I am. So instead of I'm trying to work out, I am someone who trains my body. Instead of I'm trying to meditate, I'm someone who protects my peace. And instead of I'm trying to eat healthy, I'm someone who nourishes myself. I'm someone who cares about what I put in my body. I'm someone who wants to live longer. I'm someone who doesn't want to get sick. I'm someone who wants to live optimally. I'm someone who wants to, right? I'm someone who wants to. So I told my boy. So before I even get to that, me, real talk, drinking alcohol, right? I told a story before. For years, I would say, right, yo, I'm not drinking no more, right? I'm trying to stop drinking. And then I would drink the same day I say it. I'm trying to stop drinking. I'm trying to stop drinking. I'm trying to stop drinking. Literally, I never forget the day I stopped drinking, like my last drink, January 13th, 2023, right? So 3+ years ago, I was like, I'm drinking. I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm not drinking no more, right? And then the next day, right, it was my mother's birthday weekend. Next day, me, my ex with my mom got some wine, right? They got some wine. And like, you want some? And I'm like, nah, I don't drink no more. I didn't say I'm trying to stop drinking. If I'm trying to stop drinking, probably would have led me to, all right, you know what, let me get a little bit. And then who knows how long that would have lasted. But I literally affirmed, I don't drink no more. That's not something I do. So I don't need to try. I just don't do that. So your habits follow your identity. Who are you? Who are you? When you change how you see yourself, your behavior starts to align. When you change how you see yourself, when you change the vision that you have of who you are and who you want to become, your behavior starts to align, right? Your habits are a result of your identity. Who are you? Are you someone who cares about your health? Are you someone who cares about your space? Are you someone who cares about your relationships? Are you someone who A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Because if you are, and you claim that, you put that out there, especially if you say it with conviction and true desire to be this person, to become this person, then again, maybe not immediately, but the beautiful thing is that we all know is that change is a process, and slow progress is better than no progress. So even if you fail, as long as you wake up every day and recommit and realign and reaffirm who you are and who you're becoming, eventually the habit that you have that you don't like is going to fade away. So now how do we actually change, right? Be clear vision on who you are becoming. The sister said it the other day, it's very hard for her to see beyond circumstances, right? So she was like, something like continuum will absolutely work for a person like me, because you get to, is a clear vision with a clear habits, right? This is who I want to become. Clear lifestyle. This is who I want to become. So you be clear. Who are you becoming? Me, I am becoming the healthiest person on earth. I am becoming the wealthiest person on earth. That is who I'm becoming. I decided, and I'm very fucking clear on that. And there's no change in my mind. What does that mean? I don't know. David Goggins said he want to be the baddest motherfucker on earth. He said, is he that? I don't know, but I know I'm striving for it every day. Right? So what's the measure? Which is another show that I want to, right? I'm an artist at heart, man. Like I want to produce another show, right? Healthiest person on earth. Because what does that mean? It doesn't mean a person who could just do the most push-ups. It doesn't mean a person who eats the best. It doesn't mean a person who deals with stress the best. Collectively, how do you navigate life, right? How do you respond? Because there is going to be stressors. There is going to be pain. There is going to be. So how do you deal with that? How do you process those things, right? But that's something I want to go around the world and find the healthiest person on earth. And even if it's not one person, I just want to, again, talk about what it means to be healthy. What it means to be healthy, because a lot of people speak about health from one perspective. Physically, mostly. I'm pretty healthy physically. They deal with stress terribly. They deal with loss terribly. Their mental health, emotional health is shot. Maybe their financial health is shot, right? So, yeah, you decide who you want to become. And then you prove it with small actions. It's not about big changes. It's not about cutting everything out immediately, right? Sometimes I do that, right? And some people have done that and strive to do it and are able to do it. My mother cut cigarettes out immediately. Homegirl spoke about when she went vegan. There was some acne stuff. There was some other things. Watched the documentary, came vegan the next day. Another sister had some stuff, changed. It took time, right? So it's not about big changes, it's about small, consistent proof. And so me becoming the healthiest person on earth is not about saying I just want to go run a marathon tomorrow. It's no, I want to hit 10,000 steps every day, give or take. 9,800 is the goal, right? 9,800 to 10,000 steps every single day, right? That's the goal. I want to do 1 to 2 sets of push-ups, pull-ups, ab rollers, resistance bands every day, stretching every day. Do them a talk show 5 days a week. Right now, do this stream for 50 days straight. Right, small, consistent proof. This is who I'm becoming: the healthiest person and the wealthiest person. The healthiest, not just physically, not just financially, not just emotionally, not just spiritually, not just mentally, but also socially. Right, the healthiest person on earth, the wealthiest person on earth. Small, consistent proof. Because if you say you're disciplined, if you say I'm a disciplined person, you show it with each action. You show it with each action, one action at a time. This is my discipline, right? So again, part of my discipline, right? Part of me being healthiest is more sleep, better sleep, earlier time, like more consistent sleep. Go to sleep at this time, up at this time, more consistent, right? And I understand that me doing the show at 9 o'clock, like not getting my workout in earlier, right, is putting a hindrance in that. So I gotta realign myself, right? Check my identity and make the necessary adjustments. And then you repeat that shit until it's real. Because the identity is built through repetition. It's not built through what you do once in a while. It's not built through what you do when you feel like it. It's not built through what you do every so often when it's convenient. No, repetition. Right? Excellence. Excellence is built through what you do repeatedly every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when it's difficult, even when it's tough, even when it's boring, even when you're alone, even when you're emotional. Because you don't become someone new overnight. No. You become that person through evidence, through consistent action and evidence. This is what I've done. Like, I know I'm consistent. Why? Because I did 590 episodes of SR Daily. Today was episode 590 of a show, right? 5 days a week, every single weekday, regardless of how I'm feeling and what's going on. If I'm 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes late, I've done it 590 consecutive days, Monday through Friday, right? 119 weeks. I've done it. So I'm all consistent. I showed up here every night, 9 o'clock, even when I'm tired, even when I don't feel like it, right? Why? Because this is who I am, and it's who I'm becoming. It's who I am now, and is part of the proof, part of the consistent action of who I'm becoming, of who I say I want to become, right? And now this is how everything we've talked about connects. Trauma leads to your patterns. Your nervous system is your regulation, right? Your nervous system, like you have to regulate that. Like that is extremely important on so many levels, right? Discipline is your action. Your environment is your reinforcement. Your habits is your repetition. What are you repeating every day? What are you repeating? What are you doing? And this is where you gotta. I would always suggest we have to become more aware, just become more conscious about what we're doing every day, right? Again, like I did a short experiment. Yo, what shoe am I putting on first? I notice most times it was my right foot. Sometimes now I switch it up, put my left shoe on first, right? Left shoe, right shoe, change it up. I put my shirt on normally, right arm, or just over my head. Like, so small things you can like look at your habits, right? And then your identity, that's who you become. And that's the full path of becoming someone different, of changing, of transforming your life from inside out, right? And so one thing that I realize, right, as I think about this topic, I think about habits and identity, is you can become whoever you want to become. There's no limits. There's no guideline. Like, there are people who were extremely unhealthy, overweight, addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, addicted to food, addicted to so many things, and then they became somebody completely different, right? They became somebody completely different. They became healthy. They became like, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't engage in that, right? And the opposite is also true. However, most people who went from being a quote unquote a good standard for themselves became not content with themselves because they weren't conscious and aware. So intention, awareness, consciousness really is everything. When you are intentional, well, when you are first aware and conscious about your habits, about the things that you are doing, about who you want to become, then you become intentional. Right? All right. Is this, you start to ask the questions. Mona says, what would a wise person do? Right? What would a person who loves and respects their family do? What would the healthiest person on earth do? What would the wealthiest person on earth do? What would a person whoever you want to become, right? What's the adjectives, right? How do you identify? What would they do in a situation, right? So yeah, man, like understand that it's okay. It's okay to have been acting like a person who you no longer want to be. So you know what? I've been this way for a long time, and I don't want to be this person no more. I don't want to be this person no more. I don't want to be a person who sleeps late. I don't want to be a person who is up all night, right? Freaking, especially if I'm not working and writing, right? If I'm writing, that's one thing, right? Because I understand that I'm not in it for necessarily balance. I'm in it for greatness, right? Like I have a real big vision for myself, and right now it's not about balance. It's about executing, right? And so if I'm gonna be up late, I gotta be up late working, writing, and then also understanding if I freaking take my butt to sleep at a reasonable time, even if it's freaking 1 o'clock, I get up at 5, I can still write. Right? I get back up and write. Gotta rest. Right? So I'm still navigating that, right? What works best for me and my identity, who I'm becoming, what works best for the goals that I want to accomplish. And that's rooted in the habits that I'm taking, right? So habits, staying up late. It's a habit. And I've done it for a long time, right? This is how I grew up late, up early. Has it worked? Depending on what day you ask me. Yes and no, right? Yes and no, right? Because then I'm taking naps during the day. Naps are healthy. I don't mind, right? So yeah. Anyway, figuring it out, man. I'm figuring it out. I am figuring it out. So before tomorrow, we want to talk about one identity because tomorrow we're going to get into discipline specifically as it relates to personal growth, right? One identity. Who do you want to become? I am someone who. What? That's the prompt. I am someone who. I'm someone who takes care of my body. I am someone who loves my children. I am someone who builds my community, right? I am someone who, right, follows through. I am someone who protects my energy. I am someone who is honest. I am someone who is truthful. I am someone who is vulnerable. I am someone who blah, 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 blah. And then you prove it just one time. You prove it just one time because one action is one piece of evidence, right? One action, one proof of concept, right, is one, you've done it. If you did it once, you can do it again. If you did it once, you can do it again without a doubt, right? If you did it once, you did it twice, you can do it 3 times. You can do it 4 times. You can do it 5 times. So how I knew that I could do a show every day, right, is for years I would film. We talking about go back to the Sugar Ray show. I will film. I will interview people. I might do 2-3 interviews in a week, and then a year goes by before I do another interview. right? I'm making videos, I'm making content, and then 6 months go by before I make another video. I'm like, damn. And there was this dude, Anthony Trucks, former NFL player. He's a speaker and coach now, right? Did a seminar, and he challenged the people, he challenged the attendees, the participants. So he said that he was doing 5 videos, 5 days, 5 videos of 5 minutes, right? 5 days, 5 videos, 5 minutes. Of course, I took that challenge and said, I'm gonna do a little more. I'm gonna do 7 days, 7 videos, 1 video a day of at least 7 minutes, And I did that shit, and it was inconsistent with time, right? Sometimes I would do it in the morning. Sometimes I'll do it in the evening. I'll do it in the middle of the day, right? I'll do it right before I go to sleep. But I did 7 videos in 7 days, right, of 7 minutes or more. And when I did that, it was like, okay, what's next? Do I just stop, right? Like, it felt really good to be consistent like that. Even though I wasn't consistent with time, I created 7 videos in 7 days. It felt really good. And it was like, okay, what's next? And literally, it was like, I think 2-3 weeks later, I created SR Daily. All right. And I'll say, yo, you know what? Because the thought was, okay, I know I can do it every day. All right. I did 7 days a week. I know I can do it every day. But what will help is time. If I can be consistent with a time that I do it, that will help me. It will help build what I'm building. It will help connect to an audience. And so I said, I picked 9 a.m. I said, I think 9 a.m. because even if I got things going on afterward, it's normally at least 10 o'clock or later. I can either take an Uber there or get there by subway or bus. Right, but 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. I could do 30 minutes a day, right? And that was it. And so now here we are, 30 minutes in the morning, and now an hour, right? 30 to 60 minutes in the evening, for 50 days at least. This will probably lead to something more long term, right? But yeah, man, prove it once. Just do it once. If you do it once, you can do it again. But once is proof. Once is enough proof. That's all you need. And so, if you will, it's 4 people tuned in. What identity are you stepping in tomorrow? Please drop it in the comments. What identity are you stepping in tomorrow? Who are you becoming? Please let me know. Right? I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let you. I'm not even gonna add. Who are you becoming? Talk to me. Drop it in the comments.
What's the 5 code?
I am someone who. I am someone who, and then whoever that person is that you're becoming tomorrow. Please drop it in the comments. And understand that you don't change your life by trying harder. You don't have to try so hard. I'm trying hard. I'm trying so hard. It's just not working. You change your life by becoming someone different. Identity shifts, mindset shifts. Who am I? Who am I? I am someone who. I am someone who follows through. I am someone who cares about their health. I am someone who values family time. I am someone who wants to live a long time. I am someone who wants to generate a lot of income. I am someone who A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, Z, and all the alphabets in between, right? Because your future is built on who you decide to be daily. Who are you? So what identity are you stepping in tomorrow? One action, one piece of evidence. That's all you need. That's proof that you can do it. If you can do it once, you can do it twice. As long as you do it twice, you can do it a lot of times, right? Talk to me. I am someone who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Who are you committing and deciding to become? Let me know. Mm, 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 mm. If I could sing for y'all, I would sing. But I ain't got that skill. You heard? I don't want to hurt your ears. It's Tuesday night. You guys might be ready for bed. Might be with your babies. Might be with your baby. Right? Might be with somebody else's baby. Right? I ain't trying to stir nothing up. You heard? But yo, man, listen, man. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Habits and identity. Mona tuned in. Mona chimed in. Mona said, I am someone who facilitates wellness circles. The whole Vibe Hood series. Fire. I am someone who facilitates wellness circles. The whole Vibe Hood series. That is dope. I'm excited to see you bring that into fruition. All right. You got the juice. Right, literally, you got the juice, baby. Ha ha! You got the juice, baby. KK LaShant on response. So yeah, man, just think about it. You ain't put it in the chat. It's okay. Think about it. Commit to yourself. I am someone who. Who are you deciding to be? Right. One identity that you are stepping into tomorrow. Again, this is not something that if you want it, you decide now, right? Like you don't got to wait 6 months, don't got to wait 3 months. And that's something that I've learned, right? And I'm still learning, right? Keep waiting. You keep waiting. If you keep waiting, you keep waiting. It's that simple. The longer you wait, the longer you delay the result of whatever effect that you want to have. All right. The longer you wait, the longer you procrastinate, the longer it takes to become who you want to become, who you want to be. Right. So decide now who you want to become. And as we said the other day, you take one action, right? Take one action, unfollow some accounts, do something a little different, start eating a little healthier, drink a little less, drink a little more water, eat some more fruit, right? Or eat some fruit if you don't at all, right? Go for that morning walk. Do something today, tomorrow, right? That is helping you become the person you want to become. I am someone who has difficult conversations. Ashe. And that's a wrap, guys. Listen, tune in tomorrow, 9 p.m. Tomorrow we're talking about discipline, specifically as it relates to personal growth. Discipline and personal growth. That is what we are talking about tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube Live. Look forward to seeing you guys then. Have a great night. And decide who you're going to become. And, go be that motherfucker. Peace.